Today for ELA we are going to learn about quotation marks. So right here is the link to a YouTube video for you to watch. And then once you have finished watching that, here is a mini lesson of what quotation marks are. So quotation marks tell us when someone is directly talking. So if we scroll down here, we use a lot of punctuation to show what a speaker is saying. So most sentences will use each of the following punctuation marks: an opening quotation mark, a closing quotation mark, and a comma and a period. So these will be included in each of the sentences. You will go through the remaining of the slideshow. Once you have gone through the slideshow, you will then cut around the screen paper. In each box, there is a sentence. What you have to do is add in the quotation marks and the punctuation that is needed. So read each one, and remember, your opening quotation mark starts when someone is talking. Your closed quotation marks will be when they stop talking. You need to make sure you are adding a comma in between and a punctuation. So like this first one, "I take care of my puppy," said Alex. So we know Alex is our subject. He is the one who's talking. So I'm going to add a punctuation here, which would be think about it, a period. And then right here would be a comma. He is talking and he is stating, I take care of my puppy. So you will have open quotation marks here and closed quotation marks here. But remember, your comma needs to go before your closing quotation marks. So do the remaining example for the rest of the sentences. Okay, when you're done with that, here is a quotation marks prompt, which you are going to do. Right here it says you're going to write at least 3 sentences where you are telling information about your favorite hobby. What you are going to make sure you do is have swag writing. Your sentence starts with a capital letter. You have spaces in between each letter. You are writing nice and neatly, and the end of your sentences have punctuation. When you are done, get a colored pencil, and you are going to circle all of the punctuation in your writing. Once you're finished with that, you then have the worksheet that goes over quotation marks. And this worksheet is double-sided. So the first page says, insert quotation marks around the words being spoken. Use a comma to set off quotation. Use a capital letter to begin each quotation. So what you're doing is reading through each sentence. For example, "I can't wait to see the movie tomorrow," said Max. Who's talking? We know Max is talking. So here's his punctuation at the end. So I know he's saying, "I can't wait to see the movie tomorrow." So I'm going to add open quotation marks here. I need to separate what he is saying from who we know who is saying it. Said Max. So comma here and then close quotation marks. So remember, your comma goes before your close quotation marks. So you do that for the remaining of the sentences. On the back, you're going to highlight the sentence that is punctuated correctly. So you have 2 sentences in each section. So for number 1, "I like hot dogs better than hamburgers," said Molly. And then the same sentence, "I like hot dogs better than hamburgers," said Molly. So which one is correct? Think about it. Highlight the whole sentence. So you are only highlighting one sentence in each section. After you are done with that, you do have task cards. Each of the task cards is just going to be asking if the punctuation is correct in the sentence. All you are writing on your paper form is yes or no. Next, if you did not happen to do this yesterday at the end of interims, what you will do is, on one side is our VCC pattern spelling, and then the other side is vocabulary. These are just the same concept. What we've been doing weekly is practicing our vocab words by filling in the blank. Remember, if you do not know what your vocab words mean, you can find them in your Journeys book, in the glossary, or also on your weekly word work page. So up here tells you to draw the examples of the vocab words, and here is to insert them into the correct sentence. Right here is our spelling words, and these are the patterns. So you're going to use brown to write the VCC pattern, then write the rest of the word in green. Our writing for this week, we are learning about what concrete poetry is, and concrete poems have a visual appearance that matches the topic of the poem. These also can be called shape poems. So what I would like you to do is read through this just to get a clear picture of what a concrete poem is. Right here too, it says it's also called a shape poem. Because of the words of the poem, take the shape of the poem subject. People have been writing the form of poetry for thousands of years to express their thoughts in words and pictures. So this is what we are going to be doing. So the first page is you're going to reread this poem. This whole shape is a poem. So then you're going to think, how does the shape help to get the poet's thoughts across? And where does this poem begin? Where does it end? And how do you know? So I would like you just to jot some notes down right here about these questions below. The next page is a concrete poetry. So now it's our turn. So what we're going to do is now create our own shape or concrete poem. So this can be about a feeling, a favorite activity, or an object to help you get started. So decide what you want to write. So this is going to be our rough draft. You have to remember to write your poem before turning it in. So let's go back to this example. We obviously know this is in the shape of a stop sign. So it says, stop using hurtful words. People remember, people cry, stop leaving people out of your group, games, and activities. Stop, because it leaves people feeling sad. So I like this example because it is a stop sign, and stop signs represent for you to stop when you see it out on the street. And so this person created it, stop hurting people's feelings. And I like this example. So you kind of get the idea. So they went around and created the shape of a stop sign. So when you have your final draft completed, I will show you an example of what mine is. You cannot copy me. So I went ahead and did a pumpkin pie. So it is in the shape of the pumpkin pie. I used words to explain what a pumpkin pie feels like, smells like, or tastes like to me. So all around I put crunchy because the crust is my favorite and it smells divine. So in the inside of it is ooey gooey and ooey gooey on the top. The best part is the icing or the whipped cream, and you can't get enough of it. So that is my example, and you can also see that is the shape of a pumpkin pie slice. So you can do anything on here. It could be a shape of a car, it could be a shape of the sun, but you have to use words that are going to explain what your picture is. We can't just write random words.